Hello again. Our next speaker is Marko Stajcer, and we'll have a very interesting BirdBox case.
Hello,
So the
Philip.
COVID. Oh, hello. Hi. How are you?
I'm good, and you?
Great. Great.
Great to hear that.
So just a short introduction. So basically, the COVID crisis happened. It was like very fast and quick, and many countries were left unprepared in a difficult situation. So governments are being forced to create quick but effective and tangible plans to minimize the losses. BirdBox is a solution that could help them find optimal strategies for financial relief packages by quickly detecting the most critical areas, finding the ones where the stimulus would have the best possible impact, meaning generating revenue, saving jobs, preventing companies' shutdown. So yeah, Marco, the mic
Yeah,
is
that's
yours.
shortly
Thank you.
about our project, and all this happened in the beginning of this crisis, and this is the topic of my presentation. So, if you agree, let's start. Okay, I will introduce you BirdBox, a sandbox for market simulation. First of all, I'm glad to be here again, and I hope that you are all fine and safe from Corona. Uh, First, I will introduce our company, Poslovna Inteligencija. And then I will talk about BirdBox, our solution for governments in this corona crisis. Who we are? So we are a company based in Croatia, and we are dealing with all kinds of data analytical problems and data analytical solutions. So our mission is to provide our clients with best services and to offer them best performance price ratio for implementing analytical solutions. So as company, we exist since 2001. We are based in Croatia, but also we have offices in the region and also in UK and Austria. We are leading vendor for data warehousing, BI, and analytical solutions in South and Eastern Europe. And in total, we have more than 140 employees at the time. We are partners with all leading companies in data analytical fields like Informatica, like IBM, Vertica, Databricks. And we offer solutions in data warehouse, business intelligence, data integration, data quality, planning and budgeting, domain migration to cloud, MDM, data governance, predictive modeling, big data, and data privacy. Actually, everything related to data. So let's move to the BirdBox. Why BirdBox? We participated in biggest European hackathon in the beginning of the Corona crisis. So it happened in April, and it was biggest European hackathon ever, with more than 20,000 participants who submitted more than 2,000 solutions in different domains. So hackathon was organized to have 27 challenges in 6 domains. Domains were health and life, business continuity, social and political cohesion, remote working and education, digital finance, and others. So we could choose any of these domains and compete in defined challenge in one of these domains. And inspired with events that happened in Croatian economy at that time, our choice was digital finance domain. And this is visualization which shows expected impact of corona crisis on European economy. So on European Union level or on Euro area, it is expected to have like devastating numbers for 2020, and this is prediction from the early stage of corona crisis, without thinking about this second wave which is happening right now. So today probably this numbers would be even worse. On the global level, most affected sectors by COVID-19 were like Apple, automotive industry, automotive suppliers, tourism, airlines. So it depends on country, but in Croatia it was maybe tourism was the first in line who was affected by corona crisis most. So our inspiration was to see how we can help and what we could do to help governments to stop collapse of economies in Europe and in Croatia. So what we saw that happened is that people are losing their jobs, and some businesses are going to bankruptcy, and there was a lot of problems at that time in economy in Croatia, and government came with some measures, like measures that would help some industry sectors or some key companies, but we felt that it was not like transparent, so we wanted to help somehow, and this was actually foundation for our idea. And at that time our thoughts was like, in Croatia we have these problems, but probably similar problems are in the other countries in European Union, even in the rest of the world. So we wanted to find some smart solution which would help governments to find optimal strategies for financial relief packages. So our idea was to help governments to quickly detect most critical areas and to find ones or companies which would be the most suitable to relieve financial package to help as much as possible players in the market. So what was the challenge of whole crisis? So crisis happened very quickly and left most countries unprepared for this situation. Governments were forced to create quick but effective plans, and most of them were unprepared and didn't have maybe enough data or even enough power to react very quickly in that case. And also European Union also decided to help countries, and their finance ministers have settled a coronavirus financial support package worth 540 billion euros to save businesses and jobs. So all EU member states had some serious funds available to help their economies. So here's just some facts. This was at the time of hackathon, so it means by the end of the April, more than 2 million coronavirus cases, about 200,000 deaths, 12 million job losses in Europe, and the European Commission decided to offer 540 million euros support package. So our solution would help governments to distribute these 540 million euros in the best possible way to companies and their partners. So what would be BirdBox impact? Our idea of platform was to provide platform which will allow governments to test different scenarios and perform simulations of how crisis or financial assistance or some other market events will affect economy. So what it means? It means that if tourism was hit by coronavirus, for example, then all other vendors like food producers and like I don't know breweries, like logistic companies, they are all affected by that crisis. Not even if they are not in tourism sector. So our impact would help to identify other companies that are not identified by tourism sector, but they are dependent of companies that are most affected by corona crisis. So our solution would help governments to save jobs and to minimize the effect of recessions. Our solution impact after the crisis would be better decision making for governments and financial sector, better resource allocation for financial injections in crisis based on real data, and better understanding of market forces while performing different market simulation. Why this is important? It's important because coronavirus or corona crisis can happen again, and it's happening right now. But after corona crisis, something else could happen, and some other crisis, for example, will happen for sure. And next time, governments could be more prepared and ready for new situation. So in just for example, in our environment, a few years ago, there were crises caused by Agrocor, and at that moment, whole Croatian economy was in danger. All the vendors that depend on Agrocor were in danger at that point of time, and there was no model that would help to detect who is the most who are the most critical companies in the market. So what BirdBox does? BirdBox visually represent the market as a network and detect key players. So we are detecting the most important companies in the economy, or most vulnerable companies to the crisis, and we try to calculate different metrics what this company means for other companies in the market. So if one company goes down, what will happen with its vendors and its partners or clients. Another part was to create simulations of stress events in the market. So in this another scenario, BirdBox would be like simulator, which allows you to put some money on some company or to simulate impact of the crisis on some specific company and track how it propagates through the network or through the whole market. So based on input data and simulation parameters, BirdBox allows you to create projected revenue loss in total, projected revenue loss in percentage, number of lost jobs for specific companies, number of lost jobs in specific industry sectors, and liquidity projection for different simulation parameters. How it helps governments fighting the crisis. It helps companies to better understand market forces by performing different scenarios and simulations, to have better market insights in their economies, advanced risk scoring model based on predictive models, to have better decision making in government and financial sectors, to optimize resource allocation and decision making in crisis situations, and to be able to fast respond to different market situations. What is technical architecture of the solution? Core of the BirdBox is BirdBox engine. It's Python-based backend application, which is used for credit scoring, risk scoring, and is based on time series and SNA analysis. We have integration with external data sources. Key resource for our solution to work is transaction data between companies, because transaction data is used to identify relationships between different companies in the market. And yeah, it's sensitive data, but at that point we suppose that regulator has access to this data. There are also additional data sources like open and publicly available data sets that can also be integrated in our solution, and that can be used to enrich transactional data to have better scoring algorithm and better risk models. And there is user and administration interface, which is used to preview data, to visualize data, and to set up simulations. Also, there is operational management and monitoring console, which is used for user administration and for process automation and monitoring. As I mentioned, in the BirdBox we use advanced analytical methods like SNA and graph theory, time series, and we use big data analytics since we collect, we process large volumes of data. User interface is web-based, which all enterprise security and role management, and it also offers interactive data visualization. Architectural components, all the engine is written in Python, and front end and back end part is based on Node.js and JavaScript Angular framework. Also, we use MongoDB to store some to store data that is used by application. What are data sources? As I mentioned, the most important data source is transactional data, which can be collected from regulatory agencies. And also there can be additional data sources like annual financial statement registry, unified accounts registry, industry classification score, concessions registry, number of employees of each company, data from tax administration. So as we can add more data sources, then we can make our models to work better. As I mentioned, transaction data is core, and it's owned by central bank, and annual financial statements are available as open data or from third-party providers like Bisnode or Dun & Bradstreet. So we can even buy some external data from third-party providers. What's the future of BirdBox? So at the moment of hackathon, our idea was to use BirdBox to help governments to solve some questions or to minimize effect of Corona crisis on economy. As one of the finalists of hackathon, we were invited on Matchathon as one of top 5% projects on a hackathon, and during the Matchathon, guidance from European Commission was like, okay, Corona crisis will probably be over in a few months. So how this solution can be commercialized or used for after the Corona crisis. So that was the point when we started to think about future of the BirdBox. So as it was usable to see effect of Corona crisis on economy, it is also applicable for market analysis and risk scoring for any market conditions and at any time. So we decided to expand the solution with more advanced simulation module that would allow us to create more sophisticated predictions and estimations for specific use cases. So what could be use cases? Use cases could be like risk scoring and simulations of any market events at any time. What are key resources to continue with these projects? So this is first of all, it's access to detailed transaction data, and this is owned by regulatory bodies or commercial banks. Access to annual financial statement registry, support from government bodies or going into commercial project with commercial bank. Also, we would need to add some domain experts to our team. Development team is something that we have, and some cloud infrastructure. Key partners for further development of the solution would be government or financial regulatory agencies, or even commercial banks. So I would like to share a video of the hackathon pitch that we used to pitch our idea and our project to European Commission.
If you are a central bank, you must be concerned about the financial health of the economy and companies in your country. It is the same if you're a commercial bank. You are worried about your corporate clients. With COVID-19 striking Europe with 200,000 deaths and more than 12 million loss of full-time jobs, the situation is critical. Any financial professional will think in two directions. Prevention? Could have we been better prepared? What will happen if we face the second virus wave? And action. What can we do now? How to help companies and avoid massive defaults? Imagine if you can have the tool which can combine the public data like P&L and balance sheets together with transactional data of money transfer between companies. That would be great, wouldn't it? This tool is called BirdBox. BirdBox is a modern, scalable, cloud-ready web application built out of several cutting-edge technology components. You can deliver two significant outcomes. Create a comprehensive risk scores and create event impact simulations. If you continue to watch, you will see an example in the demo. The visualizations you are looking at represents the economy based on the aggregated transaction data. Every circle you can see represents one company. The lines between them are financial transactions. If the line is thicker, then the higher amount of money is exchanged between those two companies. You might want to select a specific company, and along with details and calculated metrics, BirdBox gives you information on the importance of this company in the network. The other part of the platform simulates stress events. Have a look on the example. We can consider a scenario when one company or a specific industry suffers from a significant decrease in income. Now we will see how would that affect the company's customers and suppliers. The companies that turned red are the ones that lost more than 20% of their revenue and are the most affected by the simulated event. This information can be used to find the optimal way to allocate financial help. Using BirdBox's advanced and sophisticated simulations, you can see how the loss of income can affect particular companies' businesses and understand the market forces. You can generate different scenarios to find where to allocate financial injections to gain the best results. If you can better understand your market and try out different simulations, then you can make better decisions and minimize the effects of the recession. Book a slot with the BirdBox team on Converb platform to learn how we can help you and solve your challenges.
Okay, and that's it. After the successful hackathon, we were invited to Matchathon to match potential partners and potential users of our applications. And there were some few very interesting contacts, but we never managed to reach someone from European Commission and to talk about or to have chance to implement some production version of BirdBox. Next step is maybe to partner with commercial banks and try to exploit this solution for improving risk scoring models. And that's it for from me.